Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to take a look. There is some news coming forward regarding Donald Trump potentially sharing intelligence in the Oval Office in that initial meeting that he had when he was first elected with the Russian ambassador. Now, that wouldn't be the first time. I also want to take a look at Melania Trump and that meeting in Argentina. So let's get started. The central question here will be, has Trump shared intelligence-sensitive American information with Vladimir Putin and the Russians? Has Trump, I'm getting quite strong validation here that he has. Has Trump shared, and I'm getting the two wine glasses almost as though they're toasting to this information that potentially allegedly could have been shared. It's drinking to the deal. It's something you might do when you're collaborating with someone. Is Donald Trump allegedly, potentially sharing sensitive information with the Russians? Donald Trump sharing sensitive information with the Russians. Okay, we've got the King of Pentacles, and this is the Trump card. If you follow my readings, you'll know that this is when we're talking about his business. So not when we're talking about his presidency. So the sharing of information has to do with income sources. It has to do with a business deal that he might have made. And what's challenging him is that it hasn't been easy to fill his end of the bargain. He's been carrying these sticks. At any time he could drop them, at any time he could falter. It hasn't been easy to deliver on his deal, and that is challenging him. That's a challenge for him. The focus of this reading is the Eight of Cups, and that's the loss. And I see that not just as the loss or Trump moving away. I saw these chalices, two people toasting something, the wine goblets, if you like. We have one up in the sky here in this particular deck. This is my Llewellyn Classic Tarot deck, and it's placed next to the moon. This is a moonlit night. So there is something hidden with this card as well. And it's almost like the loss is there. The Eight of Cups is walking away, loss, withdrawal, retreat, moving on. This is around what Donald Trump will be doing in the future, and as I said, this is the focus of the reading. So if he has been sharing this information, then of course we know that eventually the law will catch up with him. The Mueller investigation will catch up with Donald Trump, and this will all be revealed. In the past, we've got the Devil card. This is the greed and the avarice here, and this is being chained in some way to the devil. So this again is pointing to the deals that Donald Trump might have made, potentially, allegedly, with Russia. The Three of Pentacles working together. This again is commerce, expansion. The information potentially could have something to do with the financial. I mean, we saw Trump come out and slap trade tariffs on China. We saw him also question how much money the US gave to NATO. This is around the monetary aspect, and of course, really front and centre is sanctions here. So this could be lifting sanctions. So his treasurer, Mnuchin, lifted the sanctions on Deripaska. This is all part of the deal. But it's the deal that's going to get him into trouble, because we've got the Hangman, and we've got, this card coming forward of being, this is not a pleasant card. This is someone who is, strung up by their ankles. This is the card of sacrifice. It's the card of things being suspended. So if he has been sharing intelligence information, that is almost gone now. And I think that what we'll see as this reading progresses, we will see that the environment that Trump is operating in now almost has made this sharing of intelligence very, very difficult. And we've got the ending here. This is the Trump himself. This is the Trump presidency. This is the death card. Okay, so we're looking at we're in the final stages of his presidency. It's very hard for him to share anything now. And the environment around him, why people are at every turn they're questioning Trump's loyalty to America. The Congress is questioning his loyalty. He's being sidelined in so many ways. And I would assume that sensitive information, there would be intelligence, CIA, and the FBI, other intelligence agencies would also be aware, and they would be taking particular measures now. Whatever he was doing before, it's harder for him to do now. Now, the hopes and fears here, the hopes that the information potentially on these financial aspects that he may have been, this is to do with sorry, someone just came forward there. This is to do with income sources. But it's also the fear. I think Trump's fear that this will be unmasked. And the final card here, we've got the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is around really waiting for results, making choices. So this is where we are at in the end stages of the Trump presidency. We've got people having to make choices here. We've got the Congress, we've got the Republicans having to make choices here about the Trump-Russia relationship, potentially, allegedly, conspiracy. We've got people really having to decide, are they patriot or are they themselves co-conspirators? So let's just have a look. Want some clarity on the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands here. Some clarity for the GOP. And we've got the King of Swords. So it is around supporting the Mueller investigation, and that's what it's going to come down to. The GOP will need to decide, are they going to support the special counsel and the results that the special counsel is getting? Are they going to be patriots, or are they going to be allegedly co-conspirators? But either way, Trump's sharing days have been suspended. This is the dying stages of his presidency. Let's have a look at Argentina, which perhaps could have been the last time he shared something with Putin. His wife Melania was present there as well. It is getting harder and harder for him to share, which is why some of the media is speculating that's why he took Melania with him as a kind of smokescreen. But let's have a look at... I'm not sure if Melania speaks Russian. I don't know whether she acted as an interpreter there. Potentially she may have done. But we'll ask the question, a yes/no question. Did Donald Trump share intelligence information in that Argentinian meeting? The G20 in Argentina. Did Donald Trump, Melania was with him, did he share intelligence information with Vladimir Putin? Argentina, G20. Yeah, I'm getting the loans and the debts. Okay, so he was delivering on potentially delivering on his end of the deal. Did he share intelligence information with Vladimir Putin? Yes, no. Okay, Seven of Wands. He's certainly having to defend himself now. It's come forward in the media, so there is he's having to defend his position. Queen of Swords is interesting. Queen of Swords can be Nancy Pelosi. There may be an investigation, some sort of investigation now coming from Congress in relation to the meetings that he had with Vladimir Putin. And we've got the suspension card. I think this is what this is pointing to. Congress will announce some kind of investigation into the meetings that Donald Trump had with Vladimir Putin. And having to defend himself is, from the Seven of Swords, really betrayal, taking theft, trying to get away with things. He's going to have to defend himself. There is something coming forward in relation to Congress. He'll battle it. The Five of Wands is pointing to, rivalries. It'll be challenged. There will be obstacles put in Nancy Pelosi and her Democratic team's way. And there will be smoke screens, more of the same as what we've seen. The House, particular committees that may have been investigating Trump, the Republicans stalled. They didn't bring forward, they didn't name members. We had the government shut down. This is all part of the smoke and mirror approach, really, to try and hold off the inevitable, and that is, really deep, penetrating investigation of Trump and the GOP, those alleged co-conspirators that we talked about in the earlier reading. And we've got Robert Mueller, the Mueller investigation again coming forward here. So this reading is showing that that he could have shared intelligence information in Argentina with Putin, but it's showing me that they already know about what he's done there, and I don't know how and how they would have, but it seems like they do already know. And it also seems, I'm talking, who knows, the intelligence community may know. There's probably more going on here in a covert sense than what we, the viewer, actually even knows about. But this reading's also pointing to potentially Pelosi and the House undertaking some kind of investigation into the meetings Trump had with Putin. Now, if that's the case, Melania she's coming to my mind, will Melania Trump be called upon to talk about what went on in the meeting in Argentina? Melania Trump, Argentina meeting, Melania Trump, Argentina meeting. Okay. Does spousal privilege operate here? Okay, we've got this again, the hangman coming forward. Will Melania there's some kind of sacrifice here for her. Some sacrifice she'll have to make, and some choice. This is the Two of Swords, some very heavy choice weighing down upon her. Six of Swords, transitioning and moving on. Melania Trump. Eight of Swords, really bound and gagged, feeling like she has no other choice. That's what this is pointing to. We've got the Seven of Cups here. And again, this is around not being able to make a choice. And we've got the Five of Wands, potentially the rivalries and the obstacles. I just have a feeling that Melania is going to be leaving. I don't know why I would say that, but she's kind of had enough. And in some way I see her moving on. Now, whether or not, I've always seen this in the readings, whether or not she heads back to New York, there are choices she's making at the moment. I'm feeling strongly she doesn't want to be the sacrificial lamb. I don't know that Congress would call her up to give evidence. She certainly, she would be aware of what went on in that meeting, but I do feel that she's almost in an untenable position now. In some way, she's feeling bound and gagged. Why did he take her? What sword did he hold over her head? And I really feel it's like she's had enough. So we'll ask that question: has Melania Trump had enough? Melania Trump had enough? Is she going to be leaving soon? Will Melania Trump be leaving this year? Will Melania Trump be leaving this year? Leaving DC, leaving the White House? Yes, no. We've got victory here. In some way, there's some kind of victory for her. We've got the Magician coming forward, and this is someone who, in this card, is operating in a forest, potentially doing things in a covert way. And we've got the Ten of Cups, which is the family card. I do see it in this deck as family, someone who potentially is doing something for the good of their family. We've got the Tower card, so whatever she's facing is going to be ruin for her. And we've got the Queen of Swords again coming up. Now, in this reading, it could be Melania. It could be her doing some kind of deal to move on. And yeah, she's moving on. I think this is the Sun card coming forward. She's moving on, really for greater happiness in her life. I don't know, what she's got to share in relation to that if she will share, in relation to that Argentinian meeting. There's certainly ruin coming down upon her, but she's also bound and gagged in some way. She's being forced to do something. In the end, it will mean she is able to transition onwards to really escape the prison that I think she feels that she's in. Now, I might add, before viewers come forward and say, no sympathy for Melania. I have no time for Melania Trump. But I'm reading the cards, and the cards are telling me she feels like she's in prison. There is ruination coming down upon her, and she will be moving on and transitioning out of DC. And to be quite honest, it will return her happiness to her, I guess, because I see a desperately unhappy woman who is imprisoned in some way, and potentially imprisoned by the Magician card, which of course is the dirty trickster. In this case, could be her own husband. So we'll leave it there, and what is hidden is the Two of Cups. She's imprisoned by her marriage. So we'll leave that reading there. The Celtic Cross I did initially in summary showed that he has been or was allegedly sharing intelligence information with Russia in the past, allegedly, potentially, could have been, according to these tarot cards. It's actually suspended at the moment because the heat is too hot for him in the kitchen, and he is being stopped from doing that in some way. So I'm joining the dots and thinking that the intelligence organisations in the US are aware of this and have taken particular measures to stop it happening. So I'll leave it there, viewers. That's my reading on Donald Trump. Is he sharing sensitive information with the Russians? Thank you.